Hello, my name is Reverend Dr. Beverly Tillman, and I'm the senior leader of Greater Harvest Church Growth Ministries. Our ministry consists of a church growth entity or side and an evangelism entity or side. So we do both. We do church growth and evangelism. And let the truth be known, evangelism grows the church also. How do we think churches grow? Yes, they do grow through evangelism. One of the ways you grow churches is through relationship evangelism, and I'm going to talk about that in weeks to come. I also, right off the bat, I want to tell you about our two webinars that we'll be having. Next week on the 12th, we'll be having Evangelism Webinar Workshop. And on July 26th, we'll be having Church Growth Webinar Workshop. Okay, so let's get to what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about evangelism. I am the senior leader of Greater Harvest Church Growth Ministries. And my team and I, we work with pastors and senior leaders and their members to grow churches. That's our mission. That's what God has commissioned us to do. That's what God has sent us out to do. So we're all about church growth, whatever it takes. Okay. So now, today I'm going to talk about street evangelism. And as you can see, I'm outside on my patio because what better place to talk about evangelism than outside on the patio, right? Okay. So, first of all, let's talk about when do you do evangelism and where do you do evangelism? Okay, when do you do it? You can do it morning, noon, night. You can do it early morning, afternoon. You can do evangelism any time of the 24 hours. You look at what your community needs. You look at where you're supposed to be going. Take all of these things into consideration, and then you decide what time you should be there. Okay, one of the times that churches often forget about is Sunday morning. On Sunday morning is the best time, one of the best times to find people at home. So get your evangelism team together, identify some Sundays that you can go out, go door to door, street to street, go around the community, just praying for people, inviting them to church, leading them to Christ. And times that I've done this on Sunday, people will leave what they're doing and follow me back to church. I'm serious about this. This has happened at two different churches that I worked with. And the one I actually belonged to, we'd go talk to the people about church. We would say we're across the street, and they would ask, what time are you going to start? We're going to start at 10 o'clock. But it's already 10 o'clock. That's okay. We take latecomers, just show up. So, get excited about the opportunity to invite people to your church on Sunday morning while you're having service. Just bring them in. Okay. Or you can also evangelize before service. After service is a little, you might not want to do it after service because at that time, the only service it serves is the next Sunday service. So before worship service on Sunday and during part of worship service, the first part, you can be out there evangelizing and bringing people right to church. So when else should you evangelize? Saturday's a very, very good time to evangelize. Why? Because people are home. But when you go to people on Saturday, don't go really early. Go more like 10 to 1 or in the afternoon when you go door to door. Then also find out where the hot spots are in your community and go to those hot spots where all the people are hanging out, or where all the people are shopping, where all the people are going to the theater. Go to those places and also evangelize. Pray with people. Ask them what they need prayer for. Pray with them for salvation. Just pray, 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 pray for people. Get into those conversations with people. Watch people cry. Watch people rededicate their lives back to Christ. And you get excited with them too. Okay, so that takes care of time. I forgot something. You can also go out at midnight. I know a church who's in, a little part of town where people hang out at night. And guess what? They evangelize from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. And they always get loads of people to talk to. And guess what? Some of those people do come to church the next day. The best time to do night evangelism is Friday night and Saturday night because it's very, very close to Sunday when you're having service. Okay, also look at during Monday to Friday, probably the best times to evangelize are between 4 and 5 p.m. on up into 7 or 8. Okay, as long as it's light out. Very rarely do we want to step out there when it's dark, except where I just talked about the church, and that is when they stepped out when it was dark. So make your decisions, make your choices, decide which time of the day you want to go out. It's only for it's not for the faint of heart to go out Saturday night and evangelize. But there are many evangelists who will do exactly that. They'll go out in the dark, they'll go out late at night. But when you do that, pick a location. Late at night is not the time when you want to go door to door. Okay, you got it, amen. So now, where should you go? Identify all of the hot spots in your neighborhood. Where are the grocery stores? Where are the theaters? Where are the McDonald's? Where are the other fast food places? Where are the corners that people hang out? Where are they on Saturday? What are the people doing? Where are they going during the week and on the weekends? You want to identify all of those areas ahead of time. And then you want to put them on your evangelism calendar. Put them on your calendar so that you'll be able to go to these places. Now, I just got through working with the church, of course, who did their evangelism calendar from May on up to December. Okay. They have something planned for each month. They're going to go out every other Sunday and every other Saturday. They have identified the places where they're going to go, and so they're all ready to go. They've got their team together, and they're going to get out there and start going to these locations. Okay, locations. You've heard the term location, location, location. Okay, this is where you get most of the people and where you spend most of your time. You find out where the people are. Okay, now there's another thing you do with evangelism. There are areas of town called subsections or subdivisions. That's what we call them in my area, subdivisions, where there's groups of houses located all in one area, like a development. I think some places call them development subdivisions. You want to find one that's friendly to your church and let your church in and is excited about your church. A subdivision or development. You want to go there. Every during all times of the day. You want to meet the people. You want to become engaged in that neighborhood, in that community. The more people see you, the more they get to know you, and the more excited they are to have you come. And guess what? Once you know all the neighbors, once you know what's going on in that community, people will start to come to your church. I have never, ever seen that not happen. But find an area that basically is unchurched. People do not go to church, they don't have churches, and many of them are not saved. Find those areas in your city, target them, and start going to those areas at least twice a month. Okay, so we got it. So let me give you a quick summary. Okay, we're talking about where do you evangelize. I'm sitting out here on my patio, okay? Because it feels good to be out here, because when you eat street evangelize, you're going to be out in the air. Might be cold air too. Who cares if it snows or rains? Get out there and evangelize anyhow, just the same. Okay, so let me give you a summary again. So, what times do you evangelize? Evangelize anytime, morning, noon, night. But when you go at night, make sure you've identified the location and make sure you're all together as a group. And make sure it's a safe place to be. Now, some of those, myself included, will go to some seedy areas of town, but we always go together in a group. And we always meet up with people in those seedy areas of town. And we always get information. They always like to talk. And many of them will come to our church. Why? Because they like talking to us, for one thing. And two, we know how to bring them to Christ. And we tell them how exciting our church is. Okay, so when do you evangelize? Any time of the day. Where do you evangelize? You identify the hot spots in your community, and you identify developments and subdivisions. You go to those places, you hit those places, you go all the time until the people are familiar with you. The housing development people know you. They come to know you, and they're looking for you, forward for you to come. Okay, so that's that. Now, we are going to be having our first evangelism webinar workshop, and it's scheduled for July 12th. That's next week. So mark your calendars. It's from 7 to 9 o'clock. We want you there. We want you to be able to learn everything we have to offer. And we're going to have a lot to offer on that Evangelism Friday. So I'm looking forward to your being there, and I'm excited. You definitely will enjoy it. You'll definitely get some really good ideas. Okay, and on the 26th, we're doing a church growth webinar workshop. But you'll hear more about that as the month goes on. Okay, but for next week, set your calendar. Put on your calendar the 12th, and the invitations will be going out to Eventbrite. If you're not on Eventbrite, just type it in your browser and go right to Eventbrite and look up Greater Harvest, or you can look up Dr. Tillman. And be sure you're there, because I want to see you. I have a lot of tips and bits that I can give you, and I have a lot to teach you. Okay, and you'll have a lot of questions too. I know you will. So I look forward to seeing you again. God bless you. And my sign off, and that's that. There's always more to come. God bless you, my friends.